Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're gonna have a slightly different style video with some gameplay in the background for you guys. So you guys just chill and watch that, and I'm gonna yap about my opinions on the new update for the new season. And my opinions for this new season are that the update is ass, bro. It's absolutely terrible, okay? And I'm gonna explain why this is the worst update that Merge Tactics has ever had, okay? And first of all, shout out to Merge Tactics GG. Um, I'll link that below for you guys if you need. That's what I'm reading from right now, to give you guys all this info, which has also been mostly released on the news page within Clash Royale. Um, but firstly, the main problem I have with this update is the impact it's gonna have on RNG. Okay, and one of the biggest factors as to why people hate on Merge, like why people don't get into it, or why people who play it itself get upset, is because the impact the RNG already has. Um, and of course, like it's an RNG based game. And RNG is always going to be a factor. Okay, like I accept that, and I like that because it adds variety. It adds competitiveness, but um, like the sorry, like, I literally just can't even form a sentence because of how stupid this is, bro. Like, the impact that this update is gonna have on RNG is insane. Okay, the problem is gonna become thousands of times worse now, and the reason for this is the quest. And I don't know if you guys have seen everything. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming you have, but just in case, I'm gonna read out the ruler quests from Merge Tactics GG. Um, so basically, what they are, it says a new in battle feature. Each ruler has a unique quest with 3 milestone objectives. Reaching a milestone awards a quest orb containing either a troop, elixir, or equipment. Okay, and I'll put a screenshot on the screen right now of what the quests are because they're different for each ruler. So if you want, you guys can pause that. You can take a look. Okay. And my opinion on this is it could have been a cool addition to the game, okay? But the thing is, it's not in any shape or form balanced, okay? And it won't be ever. Because unfortunately, as you guys know, the Supercell balance team is awful, okay? I mean, look at look at Mohamed Light, bro. If you know, you know. But the impacts the quests are gonna have, they're gonna amplify the RNG massively, okay? I'll explain why. So first of all, there's literally no control over what you get as a reward for completing the quest, right? So if you complete a quest, as I said, you're given an orb which can contain either a troop, elixir, or equipment. Um, and first of all, this massively impacts early game RNG, which is like a big issue, and people have always gone mad about that in certain modifiers in the past. Um, but think about this, right? Like imagine, let's just imagine you're an empress for like simplicity, right? Um, and you get a little cycle going, you get your 3 merges because that's all it takes for your first orb, right? From that, you could get an extra 5 elixir, right? And of course, that's gonna push you over the edge. That's guaranteed you a cycle. And from there on, you just have infinite elixir, right? Or you could get a troop. And that troop, by the way, is gonna start to appear in your shop. And only in your shop. Which means what you can do with that troop is you can 3-star it for free because nobody's going to be able to block you, right? Or you could gain a literal pay to lose piece of equipment like the fisherman's hook, bro. So basically, what I'm saying, right, is from your very first quest orb, you can get either something that's basically guaranteeing you a win or something which helps you in literally no meaningful way. Like, do you not find that insane, right? And then that's just early game, okay? If we skip to late game, right? I'll skip forward to that with the 3-star orb. You can get a literal 3-star monk, probably like very arguably the strongest troop, or you could be given a piece of equipment which when you put it on a troop gives them the goblin trait. Bro, could that be more useless? Like, what is that, bro? Like, imagine you're in an Empress 1v1 and your opponent gets a 3-star card and you get a goblin trait. Like, that's insane. Like, that could never even be, like, justifiable. Like, that could not ever be fair. Like, who could have possibly approved that? Like, imagine you're in an Empress lobby at the start of the game, you're not getting any merges, you see all your opponents who have cycle, and they're just getting an extra boost, and you're just sat there useless, and you're just a guaranteed death. Like, people not seeing how RNG based this is, how much it's gonna be. Like, and then the second thing about quests, right, is that obviously for each ruler they're different, and the milestones for each ruler are completely unbalanced. Like, for example, an Empress to get a 2-star quest, you need 15 merges. I'm saying, like, as an Empress, obviously it depends on the modifier, but for example, in first 3, I'm pretty sure I had 15 merges by round 3, okay? And then for a 3-star orb, you need 50 merges. And that is like an obtainable, especially if it's a long game. That's like an obtainable goal, right? Um, but then if you look at other rulers, they're like literally unobtainable. So, for example, Loon, right? He needs to win 5 rounds in a row to get his thing. Like, come on, bro. When does that ever happen that as an Empress, you're still losing to a Loon in round 5, round 6, when you have 6 troops? Like, it just doesn't happen. Or imagine you're a sage, right? Let's see, knock out 18 troops in one game with your echo. Like, how many kills does it take for an echo to get to a 4-star, right? It takes 1 to get to a 2-star, 2 to get to a 3-star, and then maybe like I actually don't know, maybe like 4 or 6 to get to a 4-star. In total, that's no more than like 10 troops, right? And like echoes literally struggle to even get to a 4-star in the first place. So like there's such a polarizing difference between how like how easy it is for each ruler to complete their quest. And I just find that really stupid. Okay, and I understand people are happy about new content because it does have potential. Like it has so much potential to be cool. But right now it's just so unbalanced. It's massively, massively RNG based. And honestly, I just don't have much hope that they're going to address this. Okay, my second issue or problem with the new update is obviously that each card is only getting one trait now. Um, I'm sure you guys have seen this as well, but I'll put up a screenshot on the screen right now of those things. And I feel like a lot of people have a problem with this. And that's because it makes the game feel really just one-dimensional. Um, and for me, like, it's gonna be really weird to see how this works out. But in all honesty, I find it hard to form an opinion on this right now because I feel like without actually playing it, um, I can't really tell how it's gonna look. So what we'll have to do, I guess, is just see how balanced each trait, and each card actually is. Obviously, there's gonna be, as every season, probably just one trait or two traits or a bunch of cards that are just stupidly broken. And for me, like, I'm someone who's been playing the game for almost a year, pretty much since it came out, and it just feels so weird for this change to be made because obviously all cards have always had two traits. Um, and now they're just gonna have one, and it just looks so weird. But I do also understand the justifications they've given. Like, for example, it's more simple for people trying to get into the game or whatever. I mean, you can check out reasons Retake explained in his new video about the Goblin Queen. So for me, this is like not a fully formed opinion yet. Um, but I don't like it. I think it's weird. But who knows? Maybe it could turn out to be something which isn't actually too bad. But I feel like a lot of people are hating on this, and rightfully so. Okay, and my third thing to discuss is modifiers. Um, because I feel like every season there's some like stupid, dumb gimmicky group of modifiers, right? So for example, dummies, taking this season, or the shields from this season. And next season, like, there are some cool modifiers, right? I'll get to that. But there's also just this stupid gimmicky group of just useless tiles, bro. And these tiles, they're gonna be placed in random places, and they just all have weird effects. I'm gonna put a screenshot right now of all the modifiers that are coming, so you guys can read that. But I just don't like tile modifiers. They're stupid, and a lot of these sound like really similar. But to talk about some modifiers that are cool, um, for example, the one life to live, right? That's there. But like, how is that gonna work, right? There's no explanation. We're gonna have to figure that out ourselves. Like, how will the troop pool work? Like, will they get deleted from the pool? Who knows? We're not gonna find out, right? And I mean, they have things like equalization. I'm pretty sure they've just had this modifier before, and it was just a different name. Unless I'm bugging. Maybe I'm thinking about like Mystery Shop. But like, I just really it's like annoying to just get these modifiers over and over again that are just not that good. Like, I feel like there's so many good modifiers that have been there over time, but you just like barely get them. Um, and yeah, I mean, Long Live the King, that sounds pretty cool. But like, just look how many tiles there are. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for my yap today on my opinions about the new update. But you guys let me know what you think. Are you happy with the new content? Are there things you'd change? What would you like to see implemented? Yeah, anything like that. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching. And I hope you like the gameplay. Got a cheeky little top 6 end season. But yeah, thanks for watching and see ya.